Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you clicked on this video and that you wanted to hang out with me and talk about books. I hope that you're doing well. I talked a lot in my last video about my move, and I'm feeling almost completely settled in now since that last video, and I'm feeling a little bit more calm and not as stressed out, which is very nice. I have been seeing this kind of video around a little bit on YouTube, where the person goes through all of the books that they have on their physical TBR, meaning every physical book that you have that you plan to read. I have been reading a lot on my Kindle, and I have a lot of books on there that are technically on my TBR. But today I'm just going to go through all of the physical books that I have that I want to read eventually. I have 3 big piles of books in front of me. I have a lot on my physical TBR. It's I think that's part of the fun in these videos, is you can kind of see that other people are in the same boat, like they have a lot of books that they haven't been able to get to yet. And so I think, like, I have all of these books. Normally I brought them into the room to film, but I decided to put all of the books that I have on my physical TBR out in our living room, on the little TV stand that we have. And I did that partly because I like the look of books, so I wanted to have that in the living room, as well as in here, but also so that, you know, when I'm watching TV, my eyes keep going to the books, and so I get reminded about these books. And I think it also ends up making me feel excited about these particular books when my eyes are going to them more often. But yes, I have a lot. And what I was gonna say is, when I'm looking at these books, like, it's good because then I get excited about reading them, but it's also bad because there's so many that it makes me feel kind of shameful that I haven't read them yet. And these are all books that I've spent money on, although there's one in here that I'll talk about that I actually found on the street. So that one was free, but otherwise I think I've bought all of these, so it feels like it makes me feel bad that I haven't read them yet. Anyway, I enjoyed the videos that I watched like this because it's fun to see the books that people want to read, but also because it makes you feel better about the fact that you're in the same boat. Yeah, so I am going to tell you every single book that is on my physical TBR. I have them all in front of me, so I'll pick them up, and I won't spend much time on each book. I think it'll be more of a quick list type thing, but I'm sure that I will say a little bit about each one, or most of them, to give a little bit more context. But then at the end, I'm gonna count them all, and we'll see exactly how many I have. I'm looking at them now, and I'm guessing that it is probably about 50? Yeah, maybe 50-ish. So we'll see if I guessed close at the end. I have an array of genres here, like pretty much every genre. I even have one nonfiction. I have some classics, some romance, some thrillers, general literary fiction, fantasy, classics. I think I said that. Yeah, so let's see all of the books on my physical TBR. And I'm not going to go in any particular order. I'm just going to start. They'll all be mixed up in terms of genre pretty much. But I'm going to start with two classics that I have. I want to read these two books by one by Emily Bronte. This is Wuthering Heights. I have heard from some people that that's their favorite classic. And then I have the matching copy of Emma by Jane Austen. So of those two classics, those I found on Facebook Marketplace for like $5. I have the Da Vinci Code. I have never read this, and it's just one of those books that I feel like I should read. A lot of people hate on this book and hate on Dan Brown, but then there are other people who say that it's worth reading. So I want to read that. I think I found that I found it at a thrift store. I also found this at a thrift store, and that is The Plague. So I've read The Myth of Sisyphus, but I haven't read this one. And I think that it is kind of timely because it has to do with something similar to COVID. Then I have Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. I aim to read all of Riley Sager's books. I found that on Facebook, and this one. I want to read Gone Girl. I really like the movie, and I've also heard that this is a good book, so I want to read that. It's I don't know, I'd consider maybe like a modern classic thriller. That book is about an unhappy couple, and the movie is about an unhappy couple who the wife goes missing, and it's very twisty, and there's a big twist at the end, which is kind of legendary. Fairy Tale by Stephen King. I have a few other Stephen King books that I might as well grab now. cider. The Long Walk. And The Institute. I love that I found this little version of it, but it's a big book. I just showed you this, so I might as well talk about it. Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I have already read 78 pages, so I want to pick it back up some point soon. Going back to Stephen King, I have The Green Mile. I gave this to my dad for Father's Day, and he did not want to read it, so I took it, and that's okay. I will read it. Then the one nonfiction book that I have is by Stephen King, and it's his book on writing. That sounds good. This book, I have heard, is actually really useful for people who are trying to write, learn how to write. And who knows, one day I might want to do that. Okay, those are all the Stephen King books I have. I want to read Call Me By Your Name. I loved the movie, and I DNF'd this book the last time I tried to read it. But I want to try it again because I'm much older now, and I think that I might like it more. I have Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I think I want to read all of Emily Henry's books. I'm missing a book. It's on my nightstand, and it is her book, Beach Read. So I have to remember that when I'm counting. I think I'm gonna read Beach Read like really soon, hence why it's on my nightstand. Yeah, I've never read it, and people talk about it all the time and how much they loved it. I have The Atlas Six by Olivia Blake. This is an author that I am really starting to love. I think that she might end up being one of my favorites. This gets very mixed reviews, so I might not like it, but I still think that I want to read all of her books. Okay. And that is a fantasy. I think it's like dark academia fantasy. I want to read some Michael Crichton, so I want to read this. This is his book, Next. The One, this is a thriller. It's about, it's kind of like a Black Mirror episode situation where there's this matchmaking system, but some like things go awry, Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. I started this book and I got to page 34, but I just wasn't in the mood for it, so I'll pick it back up. I have the modern classic, The Secret History. This is definitely a book that I should read. I think that, I actually haven't read any dark academia books, but it seems like something that I would like because I've spent so much of my life in academia. So, The Secret History, and If We Were Villains. I hate this cover, this copy of it. It's very ugly to me and basic. But If We Were Villains. Okay. A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. This is a fantasy. I don't know anything beyond that, honestly. I also want to read Divine Rivals by her, but I don't have a physical copy. People really seem to like this author, and I found this at a used bookstore, which I was very thrilled about. I want to read Outlander. I've talked about it before. I am a fan of the show, and therefore I would like to read the books, or at least try the first one. There's like 6 books. No, 3, 4? There's a lot. It's a series, and they're each pretty thick. This is over 600. Nope. Oh my god, this is like 850 pages. Whoa. I would not be surprised if I don't finish that book. But I'm okay with buying it because I like the show so much. It's one of my favorites. All the Light We Cannot See. I believe this is considered historical fiction, like Outlander. It's a big book. I want to give it a try. Another classic, I want to read Jane Eyre. This is obviously used. I got it at a thrift store, and yeah, it's good enough for now. If I really like it, I'll find a better one. The Wolf and the Woodsman by Ava Reed. I read Juniper and Thorn by her and really liked it, so I want to read this. Circe by Madeline Miller. I haven't read her other big book, The Song of Achilles, either, but I've heard that people like this one more, so I'm going to try this one first. I did start it already, actually. I can't remember what page I was on, and I took out the bookmark, but just one of those times, again, where I'm not in the mood for it and I picked the wrong book, so I stopped. But I do want to try it again. I just find, like, I'm concerned about it because I get very overwhelmed with a lot of different weird names, which there is in, like, Greek mythology, so I find it hard to follow and confusing. And that's another problem I have. That's a problem I have with fantasy books as well, which sucks. Oh, look at that. We have a few fantasy books. Next, I do want to try Akatar. I'm concerned about this as well, but I have to try it. I really want to like it, and I want to be a part of that community. But if I don't, I don't. The Cruel Prince, I have had this for a while. I've been meaning to read it for a while, but haven't felt like picking it up. Fleur, ASMR Fleur, just read this. She's one of my favorite ASMR artists, and I just love her and her personality, and I want to be friends with you, ASMR. And I just feel like we're kind of similar, both in the topics that we talk about and the books that we read, and yeah, I'm just being silly, but she read this and really loved it. Apparently she wrote a really positive review of it. I think she's read the whole series, or almost the whole series, and she's talked about it in a video recently, and that made me more motivated to try it, so we'll see. I might try it soon. I want to finish the Shadow and Bone series. So I have Siege and Storm and Ruin and Rising. I started this, and again, I just felt like I just didn't feel like reading it, so I stopped. But I do want to finish it at some point. I also want to partly read it because I really want to read Leigh Bardugo. I really want to read Six of Crows by her. And people say that you don't have to read all of the Shadow and Bone series to understand Six of Crows, but that it helps, so I'll probably try to read those first. This is the book that I found on the street. Just yesterday, I was going for a walk to the park, and we were walking by a driveway, and it had a dumpster thing in the driveway, which was clearly like them saying that all of this stuff was free. I don't know if this happens where you live, but right around times where people are moving a lot, you see this a lot, where people just put stuff out by the driveway for people to take. So that's what happened, and we were looking at something else in this dumpster, and there's like a golf bag and a bunch of like furniture stuff. And then I saw the back of that book, and I recognized it just from the back because I've seen it like everywhere. I've seen it in lots of bookstores lately. And I've never known what the book was about or anything, but I was like, well, it's free, I should take it. So I did. It is such a fun age. I obviously like read the back after I picked it up, and I'll read it to you. Or it's not the back, it's on a sleeve. Okay. What happens when you do the right thing for the wrong reason? Alex Chamberlain is a woman who gets what she wants and has made a living with her confidence-driven brand, showing other women how to do the same. She is shocked when her babysitter, Amira Tucker, is confronted while watching the Chamberlains' toddler one night, walking the aisles of their local high-end supermarket. The store's security guard, seeing a young black woman out late with a white child, accuses Amira of kidnapping 2-year-old Briere. A small crowd gathers, a bystander films everything, and Amira is furious and humiliated. Alex resolves to make things right. But Amira herself is aimless, broke, and wary of Alex's desire to help. At 25, she is about to lose her health insurance and has no idea what to do with her life. When the video of Amira goes public and unearths someone from Alex's past, both women find themselves on a crash course that will upend everything they think they know about themselves and each other. With empathy and piercing social commentary, Such a Fun Age explores the stickiness of transactional relationships, what it means to make someone family, and the complicated reality of being a grown-up. It is a searing debut for our times. The story reminds me of the show, it might be a book too, what is it called? Something about fire. I have to look it up. This book is in a little bit of rough shape, and it has a little bit of like water damage, but it's not that bad. So now I have this. It doesn't have the best reviews, but it sounds good. I might like it. I have this collection of short stories. It's called Her Body and Other Parties. In her electrifying debut, Carmen Maria Machado blithely demolishes the borders between psychological realism and science fiction, comedy and horror, fantasy and fabulism. Here are 8 startling stories that map the realities of women's lives and the violence visited upon their bodies. Earthy and otherworldly, antic and sexy, queer and caustic, comic and deadly serious, Her Body and Other Parties enlarges the possibilities of contemporary fiction. Alright, we're on the last 2. I've been saying this for a long time, but I want to read finally Tomorrow, Tomorrow, and Tomorrow. This is a very popular book. I think it has a lot of potential. I think I'll probably like it. So I want to finally read this soon. I just love this cover and the spine. It's very pretty. And last, I have 28 Summers by Ellen Hilderbrand. This is a romance author. Is it romance or literary fiction? I'm not quite sure. I know that romance is a big part of it. So I just want to try one of her books and then see if I like her, because if I do, then I hit the jackpot, because she has a ton of books. So I'd like to read this soon because it's very summery. Well, yeah, because it's called 28 Summers. So, yeah. So, I think I did pretty good at going quickly. I think now I'm going to count them on camera. And we'll see how many I have on my physical TBR. First, though, I hope that this was interesting to kind of see what books I'm planning to read, and I hope that it was relaxing. I hope that even if you didn't pay attention or don't care at all about the books I'm reading, that you enjoyed it. And please, I'd be really interested to hear what books you plan on reading yourself, or if any of these ones are on your TBR too, or if you've read any and what you thought. Okay, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 and 31, 32, 33, and 34. 34 books. So that's a lot, but it's less than I thought. I had guessed 50, so it's quite a bit off, but in a good way because it's less than I thought it was. I can definitely read those. Like, I am on a book buying ban right now, so I'm not buying any more physical books. I can get books, I can get ebooks, but not physical books. Unless I go to the used bookstore that I found and there's like this incredible find, then I'll allow myself. But my plan is to try to finish most of these by the end of the year. So I'm not gonna say I'm gonna finish all of them, but I think that I can finish most of them. So, or at least try all of them, because some of these I might DNF, but yeah. So again, I hope that this was enjoyable, relaxing. Again, leave a comment down below. If you are new to my channel, and you liked this, I'd encourage you to subscribe if you want to. I would love to have you here. I thank you so much for watching, for listening, and I hope to see you very soon.